Imagine for a moment, you're staring down a massive document. Perhaps it's a critical report for a looming deadline, maybe some groundbreaking research that could redefine your field, or you've stumbled upon a fascinating historical text and there's a catch. It's entirely in a language you don't speak.
Mm.
In our increasingly interconnected world, the sheer volume of information often feels overwhelming, right? Especially when linguistic barriers stand in the way.
Absolutely.
Now, the idea of artificial intelligence, our trusty AI swooping in like a superhero and giving you a perfect instant translation, well, that sounds like a sci-fi dream, doesn't it?
It really does.
But what happens when a human who truly knows their stuff, I mean, a professional translator with decades of experience, whose very career hinges on linguistic precision, puts these digital brains through their paces?
What's truly fascinating here, and what our source material really dives into, is this intricate dance between human expertise and machine capability. It challenges many of our prevailing assumptions about AI perfection. And critically, it illuminates precisely where human discernment remains not just valuable, but actually irreplaceable. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a very real-world scenario, a practical translation shootout, if you will,
Okay.
where a seasoned professional translator took a substantial, quite complex blog post, originally penned in Slovak, and subjected 10 of the most advanced AI language models to the ultimate test, translating it into English.
That's right. Our mission today is to pull back the curtain on this rather scientific yet intensely practical experiment. We have the direct observations and the meticulously drawn conclusions from this translator,
Right.
and we're going to unpack their findings piece by piece. We'll extract the most important nuggets of knowledge about the true capabilities and, just as importantly, the inherent limitations of AI in the nuanced world of translation. What does this mean for you, whether you're a student grappling with international research, a professional navigating global communications, or simply, an insanely curious learner, constantly trying to make sense of a world absolutely flooded with information?
It's a key question.
We're going to scrutinize the methods employed, delve into the surprising results, and ultimately highlight that essential human element that, well, still ties it all together. Let's begin.
Okay, so to truly appreciate the context and the depth of this experiment, we first need to understand the translator's foundational philosophy regarding translation quality.
Right, their starting point.
Exactly. This isn't merely about exchanging words from one language for another. For them, it's treated as a craft, almost an art form demanding both precision and profound linguistic sensitivity.
Okay.
The author's core principle is incredibly strong, like an unshakable conviction. They believe the only standard and legitimate approach to achieving high-quality translation is a manual one.
The only one. Wow.
Yes, this isn't just a personal preference or, a nostalgic clinging to old ways. It's born from this deep understanding that translation at its best requires a diligent, painstaking sentence-by-sentence process. And this process demands the human translator's deep, almost innate command of both the source and the target languages, which means, not just knowing vocabulary and grammar.
There's more than that.
Much more. It's grasping the subtle nuances of idiom, the intricate layers of cultural context, the precise emotional tone, even the subtle rhythm and flow of a sentence that often define effective communication. Things machines, well, struggle with.
And this isn't just some abstract theory for our author, is it? They ground this philosophy in very concrete examples from their professional past.
That's right. They talk about their work with specialized translation software like Logoport.
Logoport, okay.
Now, for many of us, when we hear translation software, our minds might immediately leap to full automation. Press a button, get a translation.
Yeah, like Google Translate on steroids.
Kind of, but our source makes it abundantly clear that Logoport aligns perfectly with this manual-first philosophy. They describe how it operates. It doesn't process whole paragraphs or documents. Instead, it magnifies one sentence at a time, almost as if presenting it under a linguistic microscope. The original sentence appears, copied into a target pane, and it's then the human translator's job to manually overwrite this original.
So you're actively rewriting it.
Exactly. Essentially building the translation word by word, phrase by phrase, carefully selecting each component to capture the exact meaning and tone. It's presented as a highly sophisticated tool for assistance.
A tool, not a replacement.
Precisely. A powerful workbench for the human artisan, but absolutely not for automation. It's there to empower the human, not to replace their critical judgment.
Got it.
And this meticulous, human-centric philosophy leads them directly to what the author unequivocally labels the not fine zone of machine translation.
The not fine zone. Sounds serious.
It is for them. They clearly articulate that feeding a complete continuous text to any machine and then merely expecting to fix a few errors is, in their professional judgment, unacceptable for anything approaching high quality.
Why is that exactly?
The rationale behind this stance is crucial and goes beyond simple grammatical inaccuracies. The output, they argue, will always retain an undeniable machine taste.
Machine taste, like it sounds robotic.
Yeah, or just off. It will invariably sound unnatural, often clunky, frequently betraying a painfully literal interpretation that misses the spirit or subtext of the original.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Imagine a metaphor that works perfectly in Slovak, but when translated literally becomes nonsensical or even unintentionally humorous in English. A machine won't instinctively catch that.
Right, it lacks that cultural filter.
Exactly. Ultimately, this leads to what they deem a fundamentally low-quality translation, one that fails to convey the subtle intent, the emotional resonance, or the cultural implications that a human translator inherently understands. The machine, in this view, simply doesn't comprehend context or subtext in the same multifaceted way a skilled human translator does.
This is where the narrative takes a really compelling turn, though. Because we often talk about ideals, right? We set these incredibly high, almost pristine standards for how things should be done, especially in a demanding craft like professional translation. But life, as we all know, rarely allows for such perfection. Our author here faced a classic dilemma, one that I think many of us can deeply relate to.
Which is?
Knowing the right way, the academically sound, professionally rigorous way, but then having to confront the pragmatic reality of finding a fast way. A viable solution under immense pressure.
The ideal versus reality.
Exactly. Despite their passionate advocacy for manual translation, they admitted to what they humorously call preaching water but drinking wine.
I like that.
The reality. Severe crushing time constraints. They had just poured their energy into writing a new, rather lengthy blog post in Slovak and needed to publish it in English on their Substack to reach a wider audience.
Okay, makes sense.
But, in their own candid words, they were simply too overwhelmed with other life demands, barely having time to sleep, eat, or live properly.
Wow, been there.
Yeah. It's a situation that speaks to that universal struggle between aspiration and practical necessity.
This compelling personal dilemma raises such an important question for all of us, doesn't it? In scenarios where perfection isn't feasible, where the ideal is simply out of reach due to real-world limitations, what is the best practical compromise?
Right. What do you do?
The author's journey illustrates precisely this: the practical necessity of leveraging tools even when they don't meet an ideal theoretical standard, and crucially, how to do so with critical awareness and a deep understanding of their limitations.
Because they had to pivot.
They did. This profound lack of time forced a strategic pivot. Rather than attempting a full, painstaking manual translation, the author made the deliberate decision to involve AI.
Even though it went against their core philosophy.
Well, yes and no. It's quite telling that they humorously refer to this process as flipping the article from Slovak to English, rather than a true translation.
That's a key distinction.
It is. This subtle linguistic choice speaks volumes, highlighting their continued philosophical stance on what constitutes true translation, while simultaneously acknowledging the inescapable practical realities that necessitated a different approach. It really sets the stage for this unique and incredibly insightful practical test.
Showing how even a purist can adapt.
Exactly. Adapting their methodology to real-world limitations while still striving for the best possible outcome under the circumstances.
And what a test it was. Our author didn't just grab the first AI tool they stumbled upon. Oh no. They approached this with a strategic rigor, assembling a veritable robots mastermind group, as they playfully call it.
I love that name.
Me too. To tackle this challenge head-on, it's absolutely fascinating to see the lineup of contenders they brought to this high-stakes translation shootout. This wasn't some casual experiment with one or two popular bots. It was a comprehensive, almost scientific endeavor.
Right, they were serious about it.
Totally. They intentionally cast an incredibly wide net, bringing in 10 different, what they describe as most advanced AI language models. We're talking about the latest from OpenAI, GPT-5 Thinking, and its well-known predecessor, GPT-4o.
Okay, the heavy hitters.
Yep. Then there was Grok 4 and Grok 3, coming from Elon Musk's XAI, known for their, let's say, unique personalities and directness.
The wacky ones, maybe.
Perhaps. From Anthropic, they included Claude Sonnet 4, and notably, they even gave it a second, dedicated attempt, which suggests it had some unique characteristics or potential worth reevaluating.
Interesting. Consistency checks, maybe.
Could be. Google's powerful Gemini 2.5 Pro was a strong contender in the mix, alongside Meta's formidable open-source model, Llama 3.3, specifically the expansive 70 billion parameter version.
Wow, the 70B Llama. That's significant in the open source world.
Absolutely. And finally, rounding out the group were DeepSeek V3 and DeepSeek R1, representing some of the newer, perhaps less mainstream, but highly capable models making waves in the AI community.
The significance of this diversity really cannot be overstated. The author wasn't just looking for a solution. They were diligently seeking the best possible solution given their severe time constraints.
Right. Maximize the chances.
Their philosophy here was profoundly pragmatic. The more tin heads, the better.
More tin heads, better results.
That's the idea. It implies a sophisticated understanding that varied AI perspectives, much like varied human perspectives, could yield a superior overall result compared to simply relying on a single source, no matter how highly touted it might be.
Makes sense. Different training, different strengths.
Exactly. Each of these models, hailing from different developers, carries distinct training data, employs different underlying architectures, and consequently possesses potentially unique strengths and weaknesses when approaching complex linguistic tasks like this. This multi-model approach inherently sets the stage for a rich comparative analysis.
Offering much deeper insights than just testing one.
Far deeper than a monoculture test ever could, yeah.
So what does this all mean for how the actual translation process unfolded? Our author certainly wasn't just hitting translate and walking away hoping for the best.
Definitely not.
This was far from a simple one-button machine translation job where you paste in text and passively receive an output. Instead, they became, as you said, a true conductor of a robot orchestra.
Yes, skillfully pulling the best notes and harmonies from each player to create a cohesive whole.
The method they employed was genuinely innovative. They didn't just pick one robot's output and start editing it. No. Instead, they conscientiously compared the suggestions from all 10 bots.
All 10. Wow, that's dedication.
Meticulously going sentence by sentence. Only then did they painstakingly amalgamate or combine these diverse suggestions into a single, coherent, and ultimately human-refined version.
So not just fixing one AI's mistakes, but building a composite.
Precisely. It wasn't just about finding the best individual sentence translation. It was about crafting a cohesive narrative, ensuring flow, tone, and accuracy by drawing from this multitude of AI inputs.
If we connect this to the broader philosophical implications, this approach is less about pure unassisted automation and far more about what we might call augmented intelligence.
Augmented intelligence, I like that term.
The mastermind group concept truly illustrates how sophisticated human-AI collaboration can yield a superior outcome, an outcome far beyond what any single AI model could achieve on its own. It's a strategic fusion.
Where the human is the editor, the synthesizer.
The critical synthesizer and the ultimate arbiter of quality, leveraging the collective strengths of multiple AI agents. This iterative consultative process, calling them the robots mastermind group, that clever nod to Napoleon Hill.
Yeah.
It highlights the profoundly collaborative and iterative nature of their work. They specifically consulted these AI models for problematic passages or tricky expressions.
Like asking a panel of experts.
Exactly. Treating each bot as an individual expert with potentially unique insights into a particularly thorny linguistic challenge. Imagine encountering a complex Slovak idiom totally baffling to a direct translation.
Okay.
One AI might offer a literal but clunky translation, another a completely different yet maybe more idiomatic English phrase, and a third might provide a beautifully elegant rephrasing that captures the essence but isn't a direct translation at all.
And the human picks the best, or combines them.
The human then acts as the linguistic alchemist, blending the best elements from each to create a truly refined outcome.
And here's a crucial detail for you, the listener, especially if you're thinking about leveraging AI for your own large projects, whether it's a critical report, a research paper, or even just a lengthy email chain. Even with this advanced AI assistance, with 10 different cutting-edge models doing the heavy lifting and offering their collective intelligence, the process still took hours of work.
Hours, not minutes. That's key.
That's right, hours. This observation profoundly debunks the popular myth of instant, effortless AI translation, where you just press a button and walk away with a perfect publishable document.
It's just not reality, is it?
Not yet, anyway. However, it's critically important to clarify that despite taking hours, it was, in the author's own assessment, still overall faster than if they had attempted a purely manual translation from scratch.
Okay, so it did save time. Significantly, it sounds like.
Definitely. So while it wasn't a magic wand delivering instant perfection, it was undoubtedly a significant time saver. It fundamentally shifted the labor, didn't it?
It did. From the grueling word-by-word creation of a raw translation to the equally rigorous but ultimately faster task of meticulous editing, synthesis, and critical refinement.
It changes the type of work.
Exactly. This outcome powerfully demonstrates that while AI significantly accelerates the initial, often brute force phase of translation, the indispensable human element remains paramount for quality control and the ultimate refinement of the text. It fundamentally redefines the role.
From creator to curator, almost.
Or critical assessor, strategic combiner, nuanced judge. The speed AI offers is undeniable, providing a robust first draft, but it's the human eye, the human brain, that truly polishes that rough diamond into a gem ready for publication.
Without that human touch.
Even the best AI output, as we'll see, falls short of professional standards.
Okay, so after assembling their robots mastermind group and putting them through this rigorous process, who actually came out on top? Who won the translation shootout?
Right, the results. They were incredibly insightful, revealing both the astonishing brilliance and the persistent, often quirky limitations of current AI.
So the winner.
For the coveted gold medal, it was apparently a photo-finish decision.
Really close then.
Incredibly tight race among the top contenders, yeah.
Right.
Where mere nuances separated the best. But the winner, ultimately, by a hair's breadth, was GPT-5 Thinking.
GPT-5 Thinking.
Okay, our author noted it narrowly edged out the competition, displaying a remarkable knack for natural language generation.
And silver.
Following closely, securing the silver medal, was Grok 4, which the author amusingly notes came from Wacky Mr. Musk.
Huh. So Grok did well.
Surprisingly well, perhaps. It's a testament to its capability, given its often more conversational and less formal reputation. And the bronze went to GPT-4o.
The older OpenAI model.
Exactly. Older compared to GPT-5 Thinking, but one that still performed admirably despite, as the author highlighted, having serious faux pas in its output.
Serious faux pas, even in the bronze medalists.
Yes, and this is a crucial point. Even the top performers, the ones at the absolute cutting edge of AI, are emphatically not flawless. This reality profoundly reinforces our ongoing need for human oversight.
It reminds us that AI, even at its best,
is a powerful tool with its own quirks, occasional missteps, and inherent imperfections. It's not a silver bullet for perfect translation, but a formidable assistant with a learning curve of its own.
Now, in any competition like this, especially with 10 contenders, there's almost always an outlier, right? A clear non-performer.
Usually, yeah.
And in this translation shootout, that distinction went to DeepSeek R1.
Ah, DeepSeek R1.
And I often describe it as the unambiguous failure, a model which failed to grasp the test's purpose even after repeated attempts.
Oh, dear.
They even quipped that his performance was a good joke to round it off.
Okay, so not useful at all then.
Apparently not for this task. It's a moment of levity, certainly, but also a stark reminder that despite the hype, not all AIs are created equal, and some are simply not yet up to the task even when others are soaring.
That's important to remember.
Interestingly, though, the author noted that apart from DeepSeek R1, none of the other 9 robots flopped entirely.
Okay, so there was a baseline competence.
Exactly, suggesting a baseline level of competence across the board for these advanced models in generating comprehensible English, even if it wasn't perfect.
What becomes strikingly clear here is that when we talk about winning in the context of AI assistance like this, it's not a simple gold medal in isolation. It's more nuanced.
How so?
It's about recognizing the specific strengths each model brings, understanding its inherent limitations, and, critically, discerning how human oversight can refine those strengths into something truly valuable and publishable.
So GPT-5 Thinking won, but why exactly? What did it do well?
It secured the top spot for a profound reason. It exhibited a remarkable knack for finding fantastic, beautifully natural-sounding English solutions for many sentences.
Natural sounding. Like less robotics.
Precisely. Imagine a complex Slovak sentence discussing, say, the philosophical nuances of personal responsibility in a collective society. where other AIs might translate it with stiff academic precision.
Yeah, something like the individual's accountability within the societal collective necessitates.
Right. GPT-5 thinking might have delivered something far more fluid and idiomatic, perhaps. How we hold ourselves accountable in a group setting demands deep ethical thought. It grasped the spirit and underlying intent.
Not just the literal words.
Exactly, offering truly intuitive and fluent phrasing. These were the kinds of solutions that other robots, often trapped in what the author called strained literalism or just generic phrasing, simply didn't even dream of.
And I feel like there's always a but with AI.
There usually is, and this is a critical but that can't be overstated. Immediately following that well-deserved praise, our author provided the crucial caveat. Even GPT-5 thinking's output, the gold medalist, was nowhere near flawless.
Mere.
Or a grade and ready for immediate publication, as they put it. Despite the AI itself often bragging in its output that it had delivered a perfect, highly accurate translation.
Oh, the AI bragged? That's funny.
Apparently so. But the seasoned human eye found significant shortcomings. This is such a vital counterpoint to the relentless hype we often hear about AI. It's powerful, yes, incredibly so, but it is demonstrably far from perfect on its own.
Relying solely on its output would be a mistake.
A significant professional risk, yeah.
So what kind of errors are we talking about?
Indeed. The author specifically pointed out that even the winning output from GPT-5 thinking still contained outright errors and unacceptable departures from the Slovak original.
Okay, like what?
Well, let's consider what those might entail. Sometimes a critical negation was missed, completely flipping the intended meaning, like, this policy will not lead to positive outcomes, might become, this policy will lead to positive outcomes. Huge difference.
Whoa, yeah, that's bad.
Or a subtle cultural reference, rich with implied meaning in Slovak, might be replaced with a generic, bland phrase in English, stripping the text of its vibrancy and specificity.
Losing the flavor of the original.
Exactly. There were also instances where the tone shifted dramatically from, say, critical analysis to passive observation, fundamentally altering the author's original intent or argument.
And this reinforces the value of their multi-bot approach.
Absolutely. What's even more compelling, and underscores the value of the amalgamated version strategy, is the author's observation that for more than a few passages, other robots in the test actually suggested the optimal wording.
Though the winner wasn't always the best for every single sentence.
Precisely. This highlights that while one AI might be a general winner, specific problems often find their best solutions in a different model. It completely validates the collaborative approach where the human cherry-picks the best from each tin head. It's not about one king, but a highly effective council.
And there was a particularly fascinating moment of unexpected AI initiative during this rigorous process, wasn't there? Something that really caught the author's attention.
Yes. A great anecdote about GPT-4o.
Okay, what did it do?
It was the only robot in the entire lineup of 10 that spontaneously added subheadings to the article.
Spontaneously, like unprompted.
Exactly. The article was described, with a touch of humor, as a Tolstoy-length piece. Imagine staring down this sprawling, unsegmented text, and then one of your AI assistants just proactively suggests a helpful structure.
Wow. That's actually really smart.
It wasn't something the translator prompted or asked for. The AI simply recognized the density of the text and autonomously proposed a way to break it down. Grok 4, for example, only did so when explicitly asked.
But GPT-4o just did it.
It offered this organizational foresight on its own.
And was it helpful? Did they use them?
This seemingly small, almost incidental AI initiative was actually incredibly helpful. It demonstrated a level of proactive intelligence beyond mere translation. The author immediately recognized its value and explained how they adopted these AI-generated subheadings.
No way.
Yes, integrating them into the final Slovak and English versions of the article that are now live on their websites.
That's amazing, a real feedback loop between human and AI.
It illustrates a powerful and positive feedback loop, exactly. It shows that AI isn't just a tool for executing specific commands, but can also be a source of genuine, creative suggestions that tangibly improve the final product.
Acting like a co-editor.
Or a structural assistant, yeah. It moves beyond just word-for-word translation into a realm of content enhancement and organization, demonstrating an unexpected and immensely valuable dimension of AI's utility.
So what does this all mean for how we perceive and interact with AI in these complex tasks? It seems abundantly clear that the goal wasn't about finding a single perfect AI because, as we've heard, None of them were flawless.
Not even close.
Instead, the real breakthrough was in identifying AI models with moments of brilliance, like GPT-5 Thinking's knack for natural phrases or GPT-4's spontaneous subheadings, and then knowing how to intelligently pull those brilliant moments into a bigger, better, human-curated picture. It's about cultivating strategic interaction and discerning partnership rather than just passively accepting the machine's output.
This approach inherently raises an important question for how we define success in an AI-augmented world, doesn't it? When we talk about winning, it's not that simple gold medal in isolation.
Right, it's more complex.
It's about recognizing the specific, often niche strengths each model brings to the table, developing a deep understanding of its inherent limitations, and, critically, understanding how human oversight and strategic intervention can refine those strengths into something truly valuable, publishable, and reflective of the original intent.
It emphasizes that the future isn't full automation.
Not for these kinds of tasks, no. It's intelligent augmentation, where the human remains the ultimate editor, the orchestrator, and the final decision maker, leveraging AI capabilities.
This deep dive into AI translation has given us some truly crucial insights that really extend far beyond just language, I think. The author's ultimate conclusion stands as the bottom line here, doesn't it? A clear and resonant message.
Which is?
No matter how good the machines that help us with our work are, additional human review is still necessary.
Still necessary.
Yeah.
Not optional.
Exactly. This isn't just a casual recommendation or a passing thought. It's a firm, professionally grounded statement about the enduring, non-negotiable value of human oversight in an AI-assisted world. It's the definitive takeaway.
And this indispensable human review, as the author meticulously stresses, cannot be formal, cursory, or quick. You can't just glance over it.
Right. No quick skim.
They explicitly state that you must typically count on hours of work time to bring machine output to an acceptable quality level.
Hours of human time, even after using the AI.
Yes. This is a profoundly crucial, practical point for anyone considering using AI for their own projects, whether you're drafting sensitive legal reports, crafting important external communications, analyzing complex financial documents, or working on creative content.
So for you listening, don't assume the first draft is the final one.
Absolutely not. The nature of the effort fundamentally shifts from initial creation to meticulous refinement, but that refinement is still a significant time-intensive investment. Think about it. In legal documents, a single misplaced comma or an incorrectly translated term could invalidate an entire contract.
Yeah, the stakes can be high.
Or in medical reports, a nuance lost or an ambiguity introduced by AI could have life-altering consequences. This level of precision simply demands a human eye, trained and experienced.
This brings us to another powerful insight that clarifies AI's true niche, maybe, where it really excels.
Yes. While robots are fundamentally not suited for translating complete, continuous texts, if you expect genuinely high quality, you'd have to significantly lower your quality bar for full automation, often to an unacceptable degree.
Right.
The author makes a compelling, almost revolutionary case for where AI truly shines. They are, in their words, brilliant and, for me, irreplaceable assistants for partial questions.
Partial questions. What does that mean exactly?
Think of a particularly problematic sentence that just twists your brain, or a tricky cultural expression that defies direct translation, or a specific nuance you're desperately trying to capture that feels just out of reach.
Ah, the really tough spots.
Exactly. This is precisely where AI excels, offering a multitude of perspectives and linguistic solutions on a very specific, isolated problem. It's like having an on-demand team of expert consultants for your toughest linguistic puzzles.
That's a great way to put it.
And the author powerfully reinforces this by reiterating their mantra, the more tin heads, the better.
Right. Use multiple AIs even for these small bits.
They argue that it's often not enough to consult a single robot, no matter how supposedly the best of them all. Often, it's only when consulting multiple robots and rigorously comparing their varied suggestions for these partial, difficult issues that the optimal translation solution truly takes clear shape.
So you compare their answers to the tricky question.
Exactly. This is about leveraging the diverse strengths of various AIs, not just relying on one universal genius. Imagine trying to find the perfect synonym for a specific context. One AI might suggest a common word, another a more formal one, a third a more evocative one.
And the human makes the final call.
By comparing these options, the human translator can make a truly informed choice, finding that exact optimal phrase. It absolutely still requires human discernment, linguistic intuition, and domain expertise to make that final, informed choice. It makes the AI a powerful brainstorming partner, not just a simple tool.
So thinking beyond the fascinating world of language translation, what does this all mean for you listening and the broader landscape of work and learning? These insights, gleaned from this one translator's meticulous experiment, seem to have profound and universal implications.
I think they absolutely do for countless fields.
Consider how these principles, the absolute necessity of human oversight, the power of an amalgamated approach using multiple AIs, and the idea of AI as a brilliant assistant for partial questions, apply to other areas where AI is rapidly assisting human efforts.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the profound lesson here is the enduring, perhaps even heightened value of human discernment in an AI-powered world. Technology undeniably augments our capabilities,
Massively.
but it doesn't substitute for the uniquely human ability to spot nuance, detect subtle errors, truly understand complex contexts, and apply critical thinking, especially in something as subtle and complex as language, or, frankly, any field requiring judgment.
Like coding or data analysis.
Exactly. Take coding. AI can generate code rapidly, sure, but a human programmer is essential to ensure its logic is sound, its security robust, and its efficiency optimized. In data analysis, AI can find patterns in vast data sets, but a human analyst is needed to validate the relevance of those patterns, interpret their true meaning, and spot potential biases in the AI's output.
Even in research.
For scientific research, AI can summarize countless papers, absolutely. But a human researcher must confirm factual accuracy, understand subtle omissions, and integrate the findings into a coherent narrative. The real skill in an AI-powered world isn't just about using AI.
It's more than that.
It's about critically evaluating its output, knowing precisely when and how to intervene, understanding its unique strengths for specific tasks, and ultimately guiding it to produce truly valuable human-centric outcomes.
So it's not about becoming a passive user.
No, it's about becoming an AI orchestrator, a skilled conductor who can guide and refine the symphony of machine-generated insights into a masterful, human-approved composition.
This deep dive has unequivocally shown us that the future of efficiency isn't just about faster machines, is it? It's about forging smarter, more symbiotic human-machine partnerships.
That's the core message, I think.
It's about understanding the profound strengths and persistent weaknesses of our AI tools, and crucially, knowing precisely when and how to apply our own unique human intelligence, our critical thinking, and our nuanced judgment to elevate their output to truly exceptional levels. What a journey of discovery and practical insight this has been.
This exploration truly raises an important question for all of us looking forward. As AI capabilities continue to evolve at this astonishing pace, how will our role as critical thinkers, as synthesizers, as discerning editors adapt to truly maximize its immense potential?
How do we evolve alongside the tech?
Exactly. It's not just about learning how to use the tools effectively, but about mastering the intricate art of collaboration with them, ensuring that human ingenuity remains firmly at the forefront.
Absolutely. So maybe next time you're facing a mountain of information or a complex task, whether it's a translation, a critical report, a creative endeavor, or even just brainstorming new ideas, ask yourself, how can I leverage this mastermind group concept? Not just with AI, but perhaps with other human collaborators or even within your own multifaceted thought process to arrive at the best possible outcome. That's something profound to mull over, I think, as you navigate your own information landscape. We'll catch you on the next deep dive.